When we are manifesting someone, sometimes we wonder about what is happening with them. We want to understand if the work that we are doing within is already creating a shift outside of us. We want to know what are they thinking and feeling. And this is a very natural reaction. But often we do look for answers in the wrong places and then we get demotivated. I've learned a lot manifesting specific people because I love observing, I love understanding the process and how to apply things to me, to the person that I am, to the way that I think. And they also shared a lot of things with me. And this is what I would like to share with you too, so that you know what is going on within your specific person while you are manifesting them. But before I get into it, hello everyone. If you're new here, my name is Al. Welcome to my channel. If you're in need of coaching, go to the description box. The information is there. We are still having the Black Friday sale. It ends today, so take a look at it. But right now, let's get into today's topic. This video is mostly for those who know that specific people. But if you don't have a specific person or you don't know them, they don't know you, there is something that I wanted to tell you. Think in terms of everyone that comes into our lives is also a manifestation of our state of consciousness. If you have someone in mind, but they don't know you, or you don't have anyone in mind, and you are thinking about the relationship that you want to have with that special person, it's not like they are going to be there thinking about you, know who you are, your name, how you look like, stuff like that. What is going to happen is what you want and who you are, your traits, your personality, is going to align to what they are looking for. So when they come into your life, they're going to have that feeling like, oh, this feels familiar. This feels exactly like what I'm looking for. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you are changing your self-concept, you are going to see small shifts, small changes around you. And this is a good sign, okay? Often people, they don't realize or they say, oh, it's such a small thing. You have to give momentum to your manifestation. You have to acknowledge it and feed your motivation by saying, amazing, it's working. The universe is going to start offering you a few options and they may not be 100% of what you want. But here's the trick. You can see this as a test or you can see this as feedback. I prefer to look at this as feedback. The things that you are getting that you really want is telling you, hey, that belief of yours is dominant. The things that you are missing in that relationship or that people that you are meeting is just telling you you need to persist. So you can look at this from lack and get mad and get angry and get frustrated because you're not getting 100% of you want. But then don't forget, you manifest what you are. You are embodying a state of lack. Okay, you are creating more lack into your life. So I prefer to look at this situation as great. I can see some of these beliefs are dominant and I am already receiving this. I'm just going to persist in those that are still changing. And now for anyone else who knows that SP, who have history with that person, whether romantic or friendly, this is what happens with them when you are working in your inner world, when you are changing your assumptions about yourself and that area of your life, people around you. What happens is everything that you are doing has an impact in what they are thinking and feeling. However, whether this is going to be enough for them to act upon it or change their minds, it really depends on your convictions about yourself. Whenever I manifest someone, I always ask them what was happening with them during that time. I want to understand what tipped the scale and made them act upon it, come to me and ask me to take them back, or come to me and open up their feelings. And what they told me made me realize one thing. Everything has an effect in them. Everything creates a reaction, even the things that we doubt, okay? However, when we are not consistent when we are not sure, when we have those doubts and insecurities about what we are affirming, visualizing, etc., that reaction is not strong enough to fully change their minds or to make them make up their minds and act upon it. Even the ones I hadn't talked to in several months, okay, they were telling me, you've been on my mind. I've been thinking about us for the past few months. But I also could see that the ups and downs that I was going through, they were going through as well, because they would tell me, well, I thought about calling you and talking about this, but then I thought about the circumstances. I thought about the issues that we have, and then I changed my mind. So whatever you are going through, in a micro doses, they are going through as well. That's when I realized that focusing on circumstances, focusing on them, what they were doing, what they were saying, is anything changing, was a waste of time. My focus should be on myself, on my convictions. I am not forcing anyone to be with me. I'm not forcing anyone to see me. I'm just being myself. My doubts, my insecurities were being reflected in that relationship. So when I don't have those doubts, when I don't have those insecurities, when I believe in myself, when I have those convictions about who I am, they are going to see that too. And this is what's going to bring them to act upon it, to do something about it, to be certain this is my person. This is the person that I want to have in my life. They always came back when I was grounded in my new identity, in my new idea of who I am, in my convictions. I knew who I was, even if the 3D was not showing me that, but I knew. And they knew that too. It doesn't mean that you will never have doubts. We will have doubts, but they are not so important that it's going to drag us down into a spiral. You are going to look at them and see, you know what? I am a good catch. And I know I'm going to be okay. I don't have to worry about those things because people know who I am. They are going to realize that, okay? They may say whatever they want to say, but they are always going to come back to the conclusion that I am beautiful, that I am intelligent, that I bring a lot to the table, that I have a lot to give, that I am magnetic and I am the person they want to be around. So whatever assumptions you want to have about yourself, okay? This is what is stronger within you. Some may ask, how can I be convinced of something that I'm not experiencing? How can I believe something about myself when I'm not seeing the feedback, when it's not being reflected in the 3D? And we do this all the time. Maybe you have been through a situation like that, and I certainly have been in a situation like that. There was a time in college where I would be really stressed out. I would get panic attacks as the dates of my exams would come close because I was certain I would fail. And I was afraid of failure. The 3D was telling me, you never failed before. You're a straight A student. I never failed at school. I never failed at university. In my inner world, I had a fear. If it never happened, it's probably going to happen someone, and maybe it's this time. And that fear was paralyzing me. So I knew I had to deal with that. Okay. And it's the same thing that we are doing here. When there is a difference between the 3D and what we feel within, then we have to rebuild ourselves. We have to create that confidence in who we are. We have to convince ourselves of our success. That's why I insist in the importance of being and not just thinking about the person that you want to be or the things that you want to have. Your identity has to reflect the person that you want to be in that relationship. If you want to have a secure relationship with someone, then you have to learn to trust. You can't be there thinking, oh, someone has to show up and they have to prove to me that I can trust them, because maybe it's impossible to prove to you that they can be trusted, okay? Because of your wounds. So you have to deal with what is there, and you have to realize, I have to learn to trust people. I have to learn to believe that they can be the best versions. Okay. The same thing is, if you want to be in a relationship where you're loved and respected, you need to start seeing yourself as someone who can be loved, respected, committed to, chosen. It has to be part of who you are, and unconditionally. They are listening, they are thinking, and they are feeling those things too. But whether it's going to be enough for them to make up their minds, to make a move, to change what they feel and how they think about the situation, it depends on our identity, who we think we are. It's self-concept. And self-concept, unfortunately, is a complex construct. There are conclusions that we have made about ourselves that are wrong. We just misinterpreted the situation, other things people dumped on us. So when we talk about working on self-concept, it is an invitation for you to take your power back and to learn to define yourself. Learn to define the person who you are and to own it. And you can do this, okay? So that's it from me. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to talk soon. Bye bye, guys.